What is going on, everybody? Critic and the Common Man here, back with another Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That intro is just gonna get crazier and crazier every time, man. Episode 4, Falcon of the Winter Soldier. Here we are. We have gotten some big time development. We knew that dude was evil. We knew he was evil, man. There was just something about him. He was kind of teetering on the edge. The new Captain America. He was teetering on the edge. And all of a sudden, end of this episode,
all it took was spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, spoiler warning. I'm sure if you guys have probably all seen it by now.
That's true.
If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen this episode, click off of this, go watch it, and then come back. I'm pretty confident we didn't ruin it for anybody, dude. So what do you think? We're now 4 episodes in. This story, the plot thickens.
I kind of liked Battlestar as a character. Like, he kind of felt like the voice of reason for Walker.
Agreed.
And now that he's dead, it's kind of like, well, who's going to hold him back?
No one.
And now that he has the serum now, he is Captain America now.
That's right.
He's the same as Captain America was.
Ooh, that's a weird way of thinking about it, but you're right. It's like you feel like Captain America got some sort of special treatment that made him who he was, but really he didn't. He basically got the exact same serum.
He was a decent soldier that got training. If anything, this new guy is even more so because he has medals of honor.
Right.
Was spec ops. Good lord, and I don't know. It almost makes him more dangerous than Captain was. And now that he has the serum, and we don't even know what this serum is. Like this is, I don't know if it's the exact same or if it's slightly different. I don't know. It's
kind of interesting that just because Chris Evans is like basically more handsome, you just assume he was a more powerful Captain America, but really he wasn't. It's like this guy's supposed to just be as strong as him.
Watching the Dora kick his ass was awesome though.
Yeah, they're not to be messed with. That's for sure.
No, that was really cool.
He was so upset that he
everything
to
about that scene, and they're not powerful. They have no special powers. They are just exceptional fighters. Right. It was really cool to see that.
Wakanda's finest soldiers, basically. Well, I mean, here we are now, and obviously they reference this. It just, the serum makes you more of yourself, and so while he was a great soldier, he's also definitely got a kind of psychopathic trait side, whatever you want to call it.
He's got PTSD. He obviously has PTSD.
Okay, that's a respectable way of putting it, for sure.
He's leaning into it in that he's allowing it to kind of control his actions.
Right.
Like he is becoming kind of psychopathic because of it.
I gotta say, as this show goes on, I will say it feels a little bit predictable still, but I will also say that this is by far my favorite thing that I've seen Anthony Mackie in yet. He is continuing to impress me with his acting chops. I was really buying into his character. Not only him, but Bucky in the beginning when he's sitting around that campfire and he's just
my God, that was heartbreaking.
That was intense.
That was just like he deserves an award for that. Yeah, just amazing acting.
Very
honestly.
good acting.
That was really, really sad.
Yeah, it does sort of feel like Bucky and Sam are kind of a step above a lot of these other people in terms of just their presence. It's like they just have more star power, I think, so their acting presence just feels more present than, like when Sam's talking to this Carly, the new Flag Smashers lead. I will say she's fantastic too, and their conversation, I was letting my own guard down as well. I was buying into the dialogue that was taking place. I was letting my guard down. I liked it. But I knew, because they're not trying to hide it, but it was very predictable in the way that they set it up where, what is his name? John Walker?
Yeah, John Walker.
They were setting it up where John Walker was going to come in, of course, and
Texas Ranger.
Just disrupt the conversation. That happens a lot. I feel like we've seen that
of course
many times.
And Bucky just let him go too, because Bucky he has his own agenda.
Right.
Like he's. So I mean, they definitely set it up. It was predictable. I knew he was going to walk in there and fuck everything up, but we needed that moment between the two of them. Definitely. For sure. And then when Carly calls his sister, dude,
that was heavy.
That was
heavy. And of course, and then she's like, I would never hurt your sister. I just needed to know if you could be trusted or not. It's like, okay, but yeah, you do feel for her because she's just trying to make a living in Louisiana with her boys, and now she's getting blackmailed by this, terrorist.
Yeah. What else? I'm trying to remember what happened, dude. Just I don't know. I feel like this whole episode was just kind of setting up the tone for what for John Walker's, kind of like fall from grace, if you want to call it that. Like he, at this point, I feel like he's going to get the shield taken away from him because of what happened. And I think that's how it's going to end up in the hands of somebody else. Probably one of the, either Bucky or Sam. I mean, obviously Sam gets it at some point. But you're right about what you said, that like their presence is different. But like, how many other Marvel characters besides Wanda and Vision have gotten the chance to portray their characters over multiple episodes?
True.
Wanda Vision had the downside of it being kind of a comedy, and so their acting level could only go so far for most of the episodes.
Right.
It wasn't until the end when it started to get dark that you and I were both like, oh, these like the characters actually feel like there's something now.
Fair enough.
But like with this, from the beginning, you knew it was going to be darker.
Well, and this is taking an interesting turn now, because now it's going to take the tone of, can a normal human being in Sam, can he beat a super soldier, essentially? Because I know he's the Falcon, but he has the tech, but he doesn't have the serum. He's never really been genetically altered, so he is.
And he said he doesn't want it.
Right. So now the plot is, can a quote normal guy challenge and defeat one of these super soldiers?
But
and that's where we're going here.
When we first met him in the Avengers movies, he talked about how he was doing halo jumps, which is a high altitude, low orbit. So he was jumping from like the upper atmosphere down using that suit. So like the guy is obviously special forces, so he knows how to fight, and I mean it's clear.
Oh yeah, he's got the skill set. It's just, there's such a huge advantage on the part of John Walker here to be super. But he also has Bucky, who is super.
He is, yeah. He has the serum.
Okay, and he has the serum, and he has the arm, which, by the way, that was wild when he got that arm taken off of him, and he basically just shut down like a robot.
It's like they completely emasculated him in that moment. Like they took all of his power, and like even he stopped. His face just dropped. He was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, I forfeit. I lose."
It's like a spray bottle with a dog. Like they completely like he didn't know how to react.
Right, he had no answer to it. Pretty heavy moments all around in this one. The show needed this episode for me. It needed this episode for me because it was feeling generic and it was feeling predictable. And although this was predictable, I like where it's going now. I like that we finally have a villain in John Walker, even though we all sort of knew that he was going to be a villain. We all kind of knew that he, at some point, like we were saying, they're going to have to take that shield from him. And at some point, this guy's going to get in the way. He was just sort of being a dick throughout the thing. Now we finally have a full-fledged victim in him. I don't know if they're going to take the shield away from him. I don't know if they're going to take it away, or if he'll be praised for killing part of the Flag Smashers and it'll just go to his head even more. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't either, honestly. Like, he's just, I don't know. It's weird because he almost feels like he's above the law or above the military now because he's Captain America, and I think he himself feels that way too.
Well, and you see him releasing people from jail. You see him pardoning Bucky when he gets arrested for not going to his therapy. He releases him from jail, and the psychologist is like, "Who did this?" And he raises his hand.
Me, I'm Captain America.
He's the government, basically. The show needed this episode for me. I like where it's going now. It like I said, it was starting to get a little stale. And its place as my favorite thing out right now has been taken by Invincible, which we also just reviewed. So that review will be coming out shortly if it hasn't been out already. So I did need this to kind of rekindle my interest in this show a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And you know what? It also gives me hope for what Loki is going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. We have a lot of TV shows kind of in the chamber from Disney, and so when they start firing those off, I think Loki is going to be great because, what's his name? Tom Hiddleston?
God, beautiful man.
Yeah, he is. He can pretty much do no wrong, acting-wise. He's great. He's great. What else, man? You got anything else?
I just saw him in Godzilla, which is funny.
Oh, yeah. Do you have anything else for episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No, it definitely feels like it's ramping up to something bigger. Like it's starting to kind of, I mean, it was a really dark end to the middle of the season. So I'm very curious about where it's going to go from here in the next 4 or 5 episodes or whatever, because it feels like it's gearing up. If it's dark now, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season,
I agree with you. It's definitely ignited the fuel for the rest of this season. So we're on board. All right, man. Well, that's it. That's our weekly review of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Up next, of course, episode 5. We're all looking forward to it. Just dropping in a few days here. Check out our review of that when it drops. If you're just listening to this review, hop on over to the YouTube. Check out our video. You can see Chris and I's beautiful face, see our little podcast setups. You can also drop a like, and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you're watching or listening, hop over to the Instagram, Critic and the Common Man on Instagram. We've got all kinds of good discussions going on over there. Start going through the posts. You can see some fun, exclusive story content, some behind-the-scenes stuff. You can see me completely covered in makeup. So that's
True.
worth the price
That's
of
on there.
admission. Definitely. But that's it. All right, Chris. Falcon and the
Pays
Winter
for itself,
Soldier,
honestly.
episode 4. We are out of here. See you guys.